Saudi Aramco in 2019 was the largest IPO to date. They raised $29 billion. OpenAI has broken that number twice in the private market, just 50 billion, and then I think like 105 or 100.
I think Anthropic also exceeded that.
Yeah, and then you said 22 trillion. That's like 11 SpaceX's.
Yeah.
These companies are some hungry hippos when it comes to their capital intensity.
And then I think another thing that has changed is the possibility to do tender offer for employees and early investors, which has also become more common. I think back then that was less common. So I think you do have, probably more tools at your disposal as a private company today than you would have had, 10, 15 years ago. That being said, I am personally like a big bull on companies going public. I do think it's the right to do for companies that, have a big vision and are building generational companies. But I do think if you're a smaller company, the costs of being public is also quite high in terms of, the disclosures, the compliance, the systems and everything you need to have in place. Audits becoming more expensive. So at some point, that risk-reward trade-off might not be the right thing for smaller companies.
In 2010, the average company that went public spent $150,000 on paper. There are also some benefits, though, around, I think, other than just making your stock liquid, the publicity that goes along with it, especially if you're selling to the enterprise.
We see this a little bit too of like companies that are asking us, hey, we'd like some certification of your financial position. And it's easier for us because we've raised a fair amount of money. So, we can point them to like our Series E and our Series F fundraises as sort of evidence that we are well capitalized and we're not going to run out of money anytime soon. Whereas if you're a public company, that's obviously much easier to do. Like, here's our last quarter. You can look at our cash balance. You can look at an auditor statement, etc. So some of those things, I think, for procurement teams at enterprises gives them a little bit better sleep at night.
Shout out to all the procurement teams working hard out there.
Always.